Hello, everyone. So glad to see some familiar faces. Thank you for waiting. Now we're going to start. So today we will have an exciting introduction to the new Bernaphone Encanta, and we have so much in store for you. So without further ado, I'll move forward. And on behalf of the Bernaphone training team, I'm very happy to welcome you to today's webinar. I'm Marielle, and with me is Christina as part of the training team. As you can see, we're very on point with our Bernaphone colors, which is midnight blue, Bernaphone red, and, well, white. So let's
we are
move
very
on.
excited to be here. Welcome also from my part to everybody. We will meet each other soon in a moment.
Okay. So for those who are new, just a few reminders. This webinar will be recorded and we will be sending the recording to all attendees later on. For those who cannot attend today's session or they want to re-listen to some parts of the presentation, your videos and microphones will be muted, but feel free to type in any comments or questions in the chat box. We will answer all of your questions near the end of the session, so hold on until then if you have a burning question. And some of you might have already forgotten that this feature is available. If you prefer the presentation to be in your own language, you can actually click on the three dots at the lower left of your screen. And when you click it, you have the option to translate the slides in the view that only you can see. So you can translate the slides in up to 19 languages, including Spanish, Arabic, Greek, Turkish, Russian, Thai, and Hindi. So to use this feature, just click on that and select the language that you would prefer from this list. So this is our agenda for today. I will be starting with the introduction to the Encanta family. I will also talk a bit about the technology with Encanta and how we will approach the campaign for the Encanta in explaining all these features. And then we will move on to the more practical parts. So I will then talk about the new Encanta hardware. And then after that, Christina will be taking over and talk about the new charger and also the new speaker, in addition to what's new with connectivity and also the software. So, Bernaphone Encanta, one unique family, four just right solutions. As you can see, the Bernaphone brand has been refreshed and reinvigorated. In addition to a new logo that you see on the bottom right there, we are also putting the focus more on the hearing care professionals, and you will see this later with our materials that we have designed just so that you can use it easier with your own client. So let's start off with a great new video of the new Encanta family. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video as I did. And for those of you with a sharp eye, probably you did notice that some of these people, they look a bit like AI, and that's because it is AI. And I think it's a genius idea because with AI, you can create any image. So along with the new reinvigorated brand from Bernafon, we want to be the first one in the industry to really take advantage of this new technology, new way of thinking, and new approach. And that is reflected in the campaign images that we have. So the new Bernafon Encanto family comes in 4 technology levels, as you can see here. We have Encanto 100, 200, 300, and 400, with 100 being the most basic and 400 being the most advanced. So our approach with Encanta is really to clearly communicate to you what is the benefit at each technology level. Before, when we talk about the benefits, usually we're only talking about the more higher end. But now, as I said, we are seeing things in a brand new way, in a new perspective. So that's why we can now explain to our clients the clear benefits for each performance level. And this is based on the needs, the budget, and also the lifestyle. So in order to help you better identify what is the right hearing aid for the right client and communicate the difference between all of these technology levels, we have broken it down to 2 very simple but important dimensions. First, you will see the level of noise in the environment from very low to very noisy. And then the conversation type, one-on-one versus a group setting. As you can see, Encanto 100 is most suitable for clients that spend most of their time in low noise situations, like at home, and most of the time in also one-to-one conversations. And then Encanta is more suitable for clients that are often on the go and find themselves frequently engaged in one-to-one conversation in noisy environments, like in the supermarket, for example. And then you have Encanta 300 and 400, which are the more advanced hearing aids, and they are suitable for clients that lead a very active and social lifestyle. They often engage in a group kind of setting, in multi-speaker conversations, and they are also more immersed in noisy or very noisy environments. So to make it easier for you and your clients to understand which hearing aid fits best to their daily needs and challenges, we have also created these 4 personas, and each represents a specific technology level. So now I'll move on to each member of the Encanta family, and let's start with Encanta 100. So Encanta 100 is for clients who spend most of their time at home or in low noise situations or surroundings. And the benefit is it supports one-to-one conversations with a clear and natural sound, providing comfort and awareness of the complete sound environment. So this is what you can explain to the patient or the client. And one of the benefits your clients will experience with Bernafon Encanta hearing aids is our clear and natural sound. Because as you know, Bernafon hearing aids amplify sound unlike any other hearing aids. It's a very distinct sound that is only found for our hearing aids. And that is because we use a unique broadband channel for processing fast modulating signals like speech and music. And you would see this in this illustration, where it keeps the natural pattern of speech intact and preserves the quality of the sound or music input, providing a very clear and natural sound experience. And the broadband channel is, of course, combined with the 24 frequency channels for processing slow modulating signals like noise. So by amplifying speech and noise differently and separately, Encanta can effectively optimize both the speech clarity and listening comfort, delivering this unique sound quality from Bernaphone. And you can see at the upper right part of your screen, this Bernaphone sound quality is really the most important thing with all of our hearing aids. And I'm happy to tell you, this is found in all 4 technology levels. So as you probably often hear, a lot of people with hearing loss are challenged by hearing different sounds in the home, be it doorbells or the kitchen timer or a voice calling from another room. So Encanta 100 comes with a fixed omnidirectionality preference, which is an omni pattern that provides 360-degree awareness. So omnidirectionality is ideal for people who spend most of their time in a low noise environment like at home. But also take note that it is possible to, of course, change the directionality preference if needed to fixed directionality or adaptive full directionality in Oasis Nix. Encanta also comes with a basic smart noise reduction, and this provides up to 6 decibel of noise reduction. And this helps, of course, improve the sound and speech clarity and listening comfort in low noise environments. So Encanta 100, as well as all the Encanta hearing aids, of course, come with the added features, and that includes wind and contact noise protector. You're probably familiar with this because of Alpha XT. So that feature is available for Encanta 100 to 400. We also have the music experience program and a great connectivity for all 4 performance levels. Now, the second member of the Encanta family is Encanta 200 Go. So, who is it for? It is for clients who rely on their hearing aids for speech understanding, and this time in a more noisy environment. So for example, you can see in the photos someone that is frequently out shopping at the supermarket and is often interacting with other people. And you can also see that this persona is walking around the park with her dog and also with her husband. So what is the benefit? Encanta 200 supports comfortable speech understanding, one-on-one conversation in a noisy environment using adaptive noise management. So that's how you can explain Encanta 200 Go. And for clients that spend a lot of their time on the go, let me just pause that. For clients that spend a lot of their time on the go and often talking on one-on-one conversations, it's very important to have hearing aids that have effective noise management so they can focus on the person they are speaking with and not the noise around them. So Encanta 200 comes with our smart directionality technology, which reduces noise located away from the talker. So in this picture that you see, there are different noises from traffic, outside in a restaurant, and also construction noises. And this is with the goal of course, increasing speech understanding in noise. Encanta 200 Smart Directionality provides up to 60% effect, which means that the reduction is up to 60% in the direction of the noise. And of course, Encanta hearing aids also come with improved smart noise reduction, this time with Machine Learning 2.0, which is even better trained to distinguish between speech and noise, delivering this really improved speech clarity and listening comfort. Encanta 200 provides up to 8 decibel noise reduction. And then the third member, which is Encanta 300 Engage. So who is it for? It is for clients who enjoy an active and social life and often participates in conversations with multiple speakers. And what is the benefit? So in a group situation, it provides a seamless transition from being focused on one person in a group to engaging in a broader group conversation in more challenging sound environments. And that is possible because of the new smart sensor, which I will be talking about later. So the new smart sensor technology, and that's available only in Encanta 300 and 400, is a motion sensor that recognizes both head and also body movements and uses that information to adjust the level of smart directionality and smart noise reduction. So in this picture, you can see someone engaged in a complex group conversation in a noisy restaurant. And here you can see that when her head is still, the motion sensor detects that she is focused on having a conversation only with one person. So the hearing aids try to help her focus by increasing the level of smart directionality and also increasing the smart noise reduction for helping her focus. When she moves her head left and right, so the people in red you see in the picture, when she now tries to talk to the other people and the sensors detect her head movement from left to right, it automatically reduces the level of smart directionality, and it also reduces the smart noise reduction to give a more omnidirectional 360-degree awareness of the whole environment. So by providing this seamless transition between focus on one person and the rest of the group, the new smart sensor technology helps to really optimize speech understanding in a multi-speaker situation. So for Encanta 300, the level of smart directionality that the clients can benefit from is increased up to 80% reduction in the area where the noise is coming from, and the smart noise reduction can be reduced up to 10 decibel. And finally, the fourth and final member of the Encanta family is Encanta 400 Pro. Who is it for? It's for clients who want uncompromising sound quality and the best technology to support speech understanding in any kind of environment. And the benefit is that this Encanta 400 provides the greatest support and maximum performance in most complex listening situations. So with Encanta 400, your clients benefit from what is the maximum possible with the smart noise management. So the smart directionality, you can see, provides up to 100% reduction in that specific area where noise is coming from. And the smart noise reduction can provide up to 12 decibel of noise suppression. And it also has machine learning 2.0. So Encanta 400 also uniquely offers the highest bandwidth of any Bernaphone hearing aid, with a range from 80 Hertz all the way to 10,000 Hertz for an even clearer and more nuanced sound experience, as if you're not wearing anything. And of course, it also has the new smart sensor. So I will talk more about the smart sensor here, okay? As I mentioned earlier, the smart sensor is a motion sensor that automatically adjusts the level of directionality and noise reduction based on the head and body movements of the user. So in this picture right now, as you can see, in the group conversation, the smart sensor detects if the head is still or maybe also nodding or moving from left to right. So if the head is still, the sensor will send this input to the hearing aid smart noise management, which will then automatically increase the level of smart directionality and noise reduction, and this provides greater noise reduction and better speech intelligibility. When the talker's head then begins to move from left to right or right to left, then the directionality and noise reduction goes down and returns to the default. So that means that instead of focusing on one direction, they are better aware of all the speakers around the client. So as an example, in the Encanto 400, the default for directionality is medium. And it's the same for noise reduction. It's also medium. So in a group conversation, in the presence of noise, when the talker is focused on one person, of course, their head is normally still. It's only in one place. So if the hearing aid detects that, the default medium will then switch to high. And in terms of the directionality and the noise reduction, it's increased to high or very high, depending on the level of noise and the people speaking around that client. So when the talker or the client returns his focus to the rest of the group, he starts moving his head left and right naturally. So the hearing aids detect this and then try to adjust the directionality and noise reduction in a way that would allow him to have a much more wider awareness around him. And this really helps them hear better in the overall conversation in a noisy environment. There is another benefit of the smart sensor, which is very important to highlight. And this is being on the go. So the smart sensor also detects if you are walking or standing still. So if a person is walking in a noisy environment, then the smart sensor decreases the smart directionality and noise reduction. So this will help the person hear the sounds around them. So for example, if there is a car behind them, or they are walking along the street and there's a bike, then this is definitely a helpful feature to have because they are much more aware of what's happening around them. But in the case where you have a customer or a client who is standing still, then this is a time where the hearing aids try to increase the directionality and increase the noise reduction to give them that listening comfort because they're not necessarily moving and they don't have to listen to all the sounds around them, especially when they're not on the go. Okay. We also wanted to demonstrate the benefit of the smart sensor in a speech intelligibility and noise test in a multi-speaker setup, so we have 3 people talking. Here you will see below that we tested 3 devices. We tested Encanta 200, 300, and 400. Encanta 200 has smart noise management, and Encanta 300 and 400 has smart noise management and also the smart sensor technology. So you can see here that Encanta 200 smart noise management does provide an 8% improvement in speech intelligibility, but with the smart sensor in Encanta 300 and 400, it doubles, almost doubles the benefit from 8% to 15% and 19% for Encanta 400. So if you have a patient or a client who is often in these multi-speaker conversations in a noisy environment, and it's really important for them to know what's happening in the group conversation, you should start considering Encanta 300 or 400 to get the best hearing experience. And here is a summary of all 4 members of the Encanta family. all have Bernaphone's exceptional sound quality and also the benefit of smart noise reduction. But you can see that as you move up to the higher technology levels, your client will benefit from even better noise management technology. And in Incanta 300 and 400, of course, we have the new smart sensor. And also here is a more technical brief overview of the Bernaphone Incanta family. And you can go back to it again and again if you need it. Don't worry, I will give a printout of this presentation. So just enjoy today's session, sit back and go through it on your own time. So as you can see, transient noise reduction, the updated version for Alpha XT, you can see how much noise reduction for transient noises it can give. So for Incanta 100, it's up to 15 decibel reduction for these transient noises, these sudden loud sounds, and it's up to 30 dB transient noise reduction for Incanta 400. So all levels have this really updated feature. And same with the wind and contact noise protector, and that is available for all levels. And you can see that the bandwidth, previously, I believe it was around 110 or so, and now it's extended all the way to 80 Hertz. And then it reaches to 8,000. For Incanta 400 Pro, it reaches all the way to 10,000 Hertz, which is really nice when that patient is oriented towards the quality of the sound. So now that we got the technology out of the way, let's talk about the beautiful new products we have with Incanta. Incanta is available in the new mini-right style, and we are also introducing, of course, a new charger, and that is the Bernaphone charger mini-right. We also have the new receiver that's called the MiniFit Detect, and a variety of earpieces, including the new Microshell Detect. And we also have a line of fresh colors and fitting ranges. So, you know what they say about love at first sight? Well, I'm going to be cheesy here, but prepare to fall in love with Incanta. Let's zoom in. So that's the new hardware, and let's look a bit deeper at what it has to offer. So this is where we will find the LED light, which, as everyone knows, indicates the hearing aid status, whether it's charging, whether the hearing aids are on or off, flight mode, etc. But the big difference here compared to the other LEDs we've had before is that this LED is stronger, easier to see, and it also has a special pulsating motion. So it's easier to really have this visibility on this new LED. And then the mini-right has a convenient single push button, so your clients can easily control their hearing aids. It allows you to turn the hearing aids on and off, change a program, change the volume. If you press on the right side, it would of course make the volume louder for both hearing aids, and left is softer. And then the mini-right also contains a telecoil so that your clients can connect to any teleloop systems in locations where that is an option. And one big difference with previous rechargeable hearing aids that we had with Bernaphone before is that the Incanta mini-right uses contact charging, which has the advantage of faster charging and a more stable and reliable performance over its lifetime. So that would be around 5 years. In addition, charging time is significantly reduced, as you'll find out later with Christina's presentation. We were really careful in making sure that these contacts, these two circles that you see here, will not touch the skin to avoid corrosion issues because of moisture and sweat. So we have thought of that. No worries. It's designed to be the highest quality and also designed to perform optimally and last longer. And then the MiniRite, the Incanta MiniRite, is also powered by a size 13 rechargeable lithium-ion battery, and it has 35% more capacity compared to the previous generation of rechargeable hearing aids from Bernafon. The battery health is also designed to be maintained even after 4 or 5 years of use. So in terms of the battery health, it should last very stably and also very dependable. The MiniRite battery is sealed, meaning that the battery cannot be accessed by you. So it can only be changed in the lab. Now you might be wondering, okay, that's not good. I would like to have the option of changing the battery if I can, right? I don't want to send it in and lose time. But as I said before, this new battery is designed to last way more stable, way more longer, and way more reliable. So most likely, most of the cases, you won't even need to change the battery at all. And then let's look at the heart of Incanta. So this is the beating heart that really makes all the difference, because this is where the digital sound processing occurs. That includes smart amplification and smart noise management. And also the new smart sensor is located here. And of course, since we have a new hardware, of course, we have a new speaker. And we have the MiniFit Detect speakers, and it's available in 4 fitting levels, and it's very smart. You will know more about this once Christina talks about this new speaker that we have called MiniFit Detect. And to make it easier for you, we can use the existing MiniFit earpieces that you already know. Note, of course, it's important to know that the Power Flex mold and the original microshell will be replaced by the microshell Detect for the new Incanta MiniRite. So that's the only difference in terms of these acoustics. And then you would see on the inner surface of the hearing aid, there will be a plate with the hearing aid serial number. I tried to look at it, it's very small. So I would advise that you connect the hearing aids to Oasis Next in order to see the serial number, if you cannot read it on this small plate. And then you will also see that we have a new color marking, which is available on the MiniRite. It is more visible than the previous one, and it's located right above the charging contacts that you see here. So now that you've seen the new Incanta hardware, I would now like to hand it over to Christina, who will talk about the new charger and speaker and all the wonderful updates that we have in the app, in the software, and so forth. Over to you, Christina.
Thank you very much, Marielle, for this introduction. So you have seen lovely that now with Incanta we have a real strong communication about the different technology levels, and we have a very strong communication about the benefits and for which customer the instrument actually is. And I really I love this new approach, and I think also for you it will open up a lot of new possibility. So see, I would like to give you now some more information about the new charger, and we will talk also a little bit more about this great MiniFit Detect speakers, the software, and what's also new then in the app. So as you can see here, that's the picture of the new charger, the new Bernafon desk charger. Actually, the size of the desk charger is even smaller than the travel charger of Alpha XT. or alpha. So it's a really, really nice shape, and it looks modern. It's a very, very attractive charger. A big improvement is also the charging time. Now with the new Encanta charger, in only 15 minutes, you actually have a 4 hours charge. So if the client doesn't have much time because he's going out there, but he needs a small recharge of the instrument, then just 15 minutes is actually enough to get additional 4 hours charge. In half an hour, we have 8 hours charge, so almost a full day, and 60 minutes is 16 hours. So in 1 hour charge, really the hearing instruments last a full day. And if you would like to charge the instrument completely, 100%, then consider that it needs only 120 minutes. Maybe this is ideal before delivering an instrument to your customer, so then he can immediately benefit of a full-time charge. Besides the much shorter charge time, we have some additional enhanced technology. So it's actually it's using contact charging technology. So contact charging means that the client, he actually puts the instrument into the charger, and then these contact points, which Marielle pointed out to you in the animation just before, these 2 contact points, they will actually scrap on the inside of the charger, and then this way remove some debris which maybe could have been added to the contacts during wearing time. And with this like small cleaning process, we can really make sure that the instruments will be properly charged. Also, a new possibility is that we can even now fit the hearing instrument when it's in the charger. So maybe a big benefit if your client comes to see you in your clinic and the instrument is already a bit low in charge, then you can put it in the charger while you are detecting it, while you are preparing. And then, of course, for the fitting, you would need to remove it, because in the charger, the hearing instruments, they will be muted. But it's great that actually you can already detect it and you can prepare everything for the fitting session. Also, it's very easy and clear for the hearing aid user to use the new Bernafon charger. You will see very clear red and blue marks on the inside of the charger, so that the hearing aid user, he really cannot mix up the right and the left hearing instrument. So the color markings are really nicely visible. In addition, the new Encanta charger is using like a magnetic feedback. So which means if the client is introducing the hearing instruments in the charger, he feels that they are almost like sucked in. So this magnet makes sure that the instruments are properly positioned in the charger and they are securely charged. A very, very important part of the hearing instrument is actually also the earpieces. So hearing instruments itself, of course, is very important, but the earpieces, they are responsible also for the good sound, for comfort, and also for Encanta. We have some news for you in this respect. We have the world's first self-calibrating mini-fit detect speaker. It's the first self-calibrating speaker actually in the industry. I will explain you a bit later what this actually means, but it is able to adjust itself so that it always matches a constant output. This is possible also because of the new 8-pin connector, which we have also nicely seen in the animation which Marielle showed. So this new 8-pin connector, first of all, it's very, very easy to plug in and also to remove, but also this 8-pin connector offers a lot of more technical possibilities, which means it can or it does detect the hearing aid level. So it detects the level, the length of the hearing of the speaker. It detects the strength of the peak of the speaker, if it's a 60, a 85, a 100, or a 105 speaker. And it also detects actually the left and right side. So with this automatic detection, we can make sure that the left and the right speaker will not be mixed up on the hearing instrument, because then a warning will appear for the hearing care professional. All this is detectable in the fitting software. I will show you how this looks like in the Oasis next section. And what we have also achieved with this new construction of the speaker and the connector, we have achieved also a higher MPO, which means a higher output for the 60 and the 100 speaker. Of course, for the 60 speaker, this is a great achievement that now we will have more capabilities with a smaller speaker. And there is also an error mode for safety, which means if the client or the hearing care professional would fit the wrong side of the speaker to the hearing instrument, then this error mode will be activated. It means the hearing instrument, the LED on the hearing instruments will start to blink. So there will be 4 orange blinks, and these orange blinks are repeated 4 times. So if the client sees that his Encanta hearing instruments blinks orange 4 times repeatedly, then he knows that something with the speaker is not correct. So especially also important for a hearing care professional during the fitting sessions. The mini-fit detect receivers, they come in the same sizes or in the same strength that we are already familiar with. Actually, they also look very, very similar. So we will have the 60 speaker, we will have the 85 speaker, we will have the 100 speaker. And as you see now, we have an additional length. So we have length up to 5 now. So we have a longer wire now for the hearing instruments for the people who really need a long wire. So we have length between 0 and 5 for the 60 and 85 speakers, and we have length between 1 and 5 for the 100 speaker, also 1 and 5 for the 105 speaker, and the micro shell is available for the 105 speaker. You know, the 105 speaker comes in a custom mold. So there we also recommend that it's then ordered with a micro shell. And the micro shell is, of course, also available for the other speakers if your client would like to use a custom solution. Here, just to repeat you, we have made a small overview about the different domes which are available for the mini-fit detect system. We do have the open bass domes for slight to mild hearing losses, which is available in different diameters. The 5 millimeter is only available for the small 60 speaker. The 6, 8, 10 and 12 millimeter is available for the 60 and 85 speaker. Then we still have the bass dome with 2 vents, the bass dome double vents, which is ideal for moderate to severe hearing losses. And then we also still have the power dome, which is available in various diameters and also for the 100 speaker, the power dome, which is actually needed for more severe hearing losses. In addition to the standard domes, there are also some other solutions available. We also have the grip tip, which maybe not many of you know what the grip tip is, but it actually already existed for the previous hearing instrument. The grip tip is also like a semi-standard solution. It is a bit more durable than the dome, and it has a bit a different size to fit more comfortably in the ear canal. The grip tip is available for the 60 and the 85 speaker. It's also available with a vented version, 2.4 millimeters, also without vent at all. Then we do have the custom molds where the light tip and the micro mold and the micro shell detect, which all these molds must be produced in the shell lab. And you see the micro shell detect. What's the difference between the micro mold and the micro shell detect? With the micro shell detect, for all the new sizes of the MiniFit Detect speakers, we also have this auto calibration and self-detection modus available. There is a new measuring tool available. It will be delivered with the new speakers. So there is a set of speakers, and there included you can get the new measuring tool. As you will see, the new measuring tool includes also the new size, which is 5 and 0. So we recommend now whenever you take the measurement of the ear, then use the new tool. If you don't have the new tool available, you can still use the old tool because the sizes basically are the same. It's just with the difference that the new options have been added on this new grayish tool. The previous tools have been white, so it's for you easy to make a difference. Mariel already mentioned the colors. And we will also have now a look at the fitting ranges for Incanta. We have very, very nice colors. So Incanta now comes in a unicolor shell, so which means the back and the inside of the shell is in the same color. And we have really, really nice colors. There is the pearly silver, metallic silver, charcoal gray. We have a dark black, the jet black. Then we do have the cocoa brown, the antique bronze, the sand beige, and the stone beige. So this unicolor shell also gives Incanta a very, very elegant view. Fitting ranges of Incanta, there are 2 different ranges available, the 100, 200, and 300. They have a fitting range, what also Mariel pointed out before, from down to 80 hertz now up to 8,000. And we see the fitting ranges for the 60, 85, 100, and 105 speaker actually is going down to 105 dB. So with Incanta, we can fit mainly all hearing losses except very profound. And if we look at the fitting range of Incanta 400, which offers now the full range from 80 hertz to 10,000 hertz, and also the 60, 85, 100, and 105 speakers with the same fitting ranges. We have also made a very, very nice and fast step ahead with Incanta connectivity, because we are aware that connectivity is getting more and more important for the hearing aid users. Hearing aid users today, almost irrelevant from the age, they would like to be able and use their smartphone, or they would like to be able to control the hearing instruments from a nice and intuitive app. So now, even with Incanta, we have made a large step ahead. Incanta, of course, is available for iPhone, made for iPhone. So, but the big step ahead is actually that now it's also compatible with LE audio. So a large majority of Android phone who have this LE audio technology enabled, they can now also be connected directly with the Encanta hearing aids. And in addition, also, we will see now we can be connected to computers. It can be connected to Mac. So we offer a lot more option with Encanta and connectivity. There will be also a special webinar later on where we dive a bit deeper in all the options which we have with Encanta connectivity. But for right now, you can be aware that now it is working with a large number of Android phones. We also have the Bernaphone app, the new Bernaphone app, which we already introduced with Alpha XT. So it's very, very intuitive. It looks still fresh. It's very, very easy to use. The hearing aid user can very discreetly adjust his hearing instrument. He gets direct access to remote fitting if he needs also remote support. And we also have an extended help range in case the client faces some possibility or some problems with connectivity or any other difficulty. I just would like to highlight a few options which are available in the new Bernaphone app. So, of course, there's the basic option to change hearing aid programs. Then we can adjust the volume. We can adjust the tinnitus relief sound and the sound of the environment independently. We do have now the remember volume settings. It's great if the hearing aid user has various listening programs and maybe he needs different amplification in the listening programs. Now, when you activate the remember volume settings and the hearing aid user has maybe a lower volume on the dynamic program and a higher volume on the music program, then these settings will be remembered. And when the hearing aid user changes the program, he will have instantly the right volume to start with. There is the sound equalizer, which is also a new feature, which we have introduced with Alpha. So it's now also possible to tune the mid, low and high frequency of each individual listening program in order to personalize the sounds if needed. Then we still have the streaming equalizer, which allows us to fine-tune the streaming sounds also in 3 frequency band, low, medium, and high. Find My Hearing Aids option is still available, now a bit more detailed than it was previously. Now it also indicates the address actually where the hearing instrument has been connected to the app the last time. We do have the hearing coach, which delivers us daily information about the target we would like to achieve with the hearing instrument. If the client would like to use the hearing instrument regularly, 8 or 10 hours a day, then he can set up the hearing coach in this way, and then he gets regular statistics delivered how he's doing progress with the use of his hearing instruments. Encanta, of course, can also be used with the Apple Watch. The battery level status is visible. The charging status now is visible. This is new for Encanta. So if the instruments are in the charger while charging, then this will be indicated also in the charging status. Remote fitting is available. Hearing aid firmware updates can also be done. Minor updates can be done now directly in the app. and we have this massive troubleshooting section and much more. Relevant for Incanta, I only would like to point out 4 news. One is this charging status, which I mentioned before. So while the instruments are still charging, then you will see this is indicated here with this icon, and on top it's mentioned hearing aids charging. When the instruments are fully charged and they are removed from the charger, then a message will appear, charging is finished, that hearing instruments are connected now. Then if the client is using the hearing coach now, he can select a number of different notifications. For example, if he has missed the objective or if he has reached the objective, all this can be personalized and selected in that new notification section. So in More Benefits, you will find notification, and opening this menu will give you a choice of different notification which the hearing aid user can activate. And what is also now possible in Incanta and hands-free communication, in the past it was only possible that the client had to touch the hearing aid push buttons to answer a call. Now we do have a tap control, which means it's enough now if the hearing aid user just taps the shell of the hearing aids, and then he can already answer, reject, or refuse the call. And also, in order to activate this setting, it's possible to activate in Oasis software by the hearing care professional. But if the hearing care professional did not do this, then it's also possible to activate this option in the hearing aid setting, answer calls faster. Then, of course, we do have our beloved Oasing fitting software. The latest version is 24.1. No big changes for you, luckily. You have been used to it, so you know exactly how to use it. It's still same intuitive software as we are familiar with. It puts the client in the center. It's still very, very easy to use, and it includes a lot of nice guides and help. I would like to point out a few options which are important to know for Incanta, but there are also a few which are not related only to Incanta, but I think it's important that you would know them as well. So what are the big news in Oasis Next 24.1? Of course, the hearing instruments Incanta have been included. So you will see in the hearing aid menu, Incanta 400, 300, 200, 100. The type is only Incanta EN, Incanta, and then MNR for mini ride. So be aware, even if it's called MNR, it does not include a T, and it does not include RT for rechargeable. It does have a telecoil, and it is rechargeable. But because we have only this style available, we made it simpler, and the description of the type is only MNR. But it does have a very strong telecoil for those countries where it's needed. And you also see that the cross transmitter is compatible. So you can use the cross transmitter with Incanta or with Alpha as well. Now, this screenshot is actually done in a simulation mode. So when you are in the simulation mode, you can still select the hearing instruments and you can look at the speaker options. When you detect the hearing instrument, then it will look a bit different. So once you have decided that you want to detect the Encanta instrument. Immediately now you see that those speakers appear which are mounted on the hearing instrument. So here we see we do have an Encanta 400 connected. The 400 has on one side the right speaker, 85, and on the other side the left speaker, 85. So it immediately pops up and identifies the right speaker on the right side, the left speaker on the left side, and the type of speaker which is added. Well, for you, it means now Encanta cannot be fit without the speaker being connected. So you need to connect the speaker, otherwise you cannot detect or fit Encanta. Of course, in simulation mode, it's still possible to do it, but it's not possible in the detection mode. Now, let's look again at the Minifig Detect speaker. So it now, in Oasis Next, it will detect the length of the wire, the serial number, the left and the right side. So how can it detect it? Because the speaker has a memory, thanks also to this new 8-pin, it has a memory. And in this memory, the sensitivity of the speaker in all the 24 frequency band is stored. So this is data which is stored in the speaker, and therefore it will immediately detect if the right speaker has been mounted. It must be connected to the hearing instrument to start fitting. There is an error mode which ensures that actually the receiver is attached. So what I mentioned before, if there would be no speaker attached or the wrong speaker, then the LED on the hearing instruments, they will start to blink 4 times, repeated 4 times, so totally 16 orange blinks to alert you that the speaker may be the wrong speaker. And there will all be a message in Oasis Next appearing that the wrong speaker may be mounted, but then also you will see an additional warning on the hearing instrument itself. So the Minifig Detect speaker has this guaranteed gain accuracy with this self-calibration of +1, -1 decibel. Why is this important? It is very important, because the speakers, they are all measured, they all have the data, and it is possible that between speakers, an old speaker and a new speaker, that this data may be different. Maybe the output of a new speaker may be 3, 2, 4 dB different than a previous speaker. Now, with this auto-calibration, we can ensure if the client is getting new speakers, that he will always have 100% identical sound. So, because what happens if we would add a speaker which has maybe 2 decibel less output, then automatically Encanta will calibrate the gain to make sure that the output of the speaker is 100%, I say almost 100%, the difference could be 1 decibel, but that the client would not have this unpleasant sensation with a new speaker. Now the instrument doesn't sound the same. So this is a very, very, very nice option which we have now achieved with these new Encanta speakers, because it shows that the speaker, they do need to be replaced from time to time. And with this self-calibration, we can make sure that the instrument always has the same sound. Also, what I mentioned before, we have managed to get a higher MPO for the speaker 60 and 100. Just to give you an example what the improvement is for the 60 speaker. So this has been the output with the previous 60 speakers. And now we see here, this is the increased output with the new Encanta speaker at the 60 level. The increase is more for the 60 level than it actually is for the 100 level, but it's a great benefit that now with Encanta, customers with a small ear canal, they can get more output, they can get a clearer sound with a 60 speaker, and also this additional headroom has a very, very positive influence on the sound quality and the hearing experience. So another great achievement which we managed to do with Encanta. Then we will also find the new smart sensor, which Marielle very, very nicely explained. You know, the smart sensor, which can track our head movements and body movements. It's located in the feature section, and as a default, it would always be on. It's also possible to switch it off. The smart sensor is available in the dynamic program. And it is also available in the program Conversation in Noise. If you would select other programs, like for instance, a car, then it's not available because in other hearing aid programs, there are other pre-adjust settings. So be aware, Smart Sensor works, of course, in the everyday dynamic program and in the Conversation in Noise. In case the noise reduction would be turned off, then also the smart sensor is not working. Then we do actually have the new feature ACT, also now integrated a new menu point in Oasis Next. Those of you who have been at the BDC or maybe taken back some information from the BDC, you have seen the presentation from Marielle explaining ACT, what it actually is. It is this new audible contrast threshold measurement. So with a new hearing aid test, we can measure how sensitive the client actually is in a speech in noise environment. And this value then can be imported into Oasis Next and would preset the Encanta features. So here we would find in the first client menu is the new menu point ACT. And I have just added this screenshot so you get an idea how it could look like. So here we would have this ACT value, which is imported into Oasis. But I do not want to go into detail. There will also be a special webinar about ACT. ACT is available not only for Encanta, but actually also for Bernafon Alpha XT, if you do have the latest firmware update, which is 1.10. We have added a new way of data logging, a wearing time counter, because until now, the wearing time we just saw the wearing time, you know, when the battery was in the instrument, but actually it did not really indicate if the hearing aid user was really wearing the hearing aid. And now there will be a new feature in the basic statistics, you know, in the wearing time statistics. One will be the wearing time, which is really the time, how long the hearing aid has been turned on and physically placed on the ear. And then we still have the other on-time data logging, which actually only indicates how long the hearing instrument has been on. So the new wearing time indicator reveals much more information. Then what I also mentioned before, it is now possible to fit the hearing instrument while it is still in the charger. When we do this, then a message will appear indicating that the hearing instruments, they are muted now, and but that the instruments, they can be fitted. And that they are muted now, you also see on top, so it will be visible that the hearing instruments are muted. But it is actually possible to fit them. So important to consider when you would like to remove the instruments from the charger, it can take up to 30 seconds for the battery state to stabilize. So you may need to wait a bit so that the instruments can be really detected. So if they would not switch on immediately, don't lose patience, give it half a minute, and then the instruments, they will securely work again. There is another benefit also that we can fit the hearing instruments while they are charging also when doing remote fitting. So it is possible if you would like to connect to your customer and then he forgot to fully charge his instrument before. So you can already communicate to your customer through the app and at the same time charge the hearing instruments. However, you must be aware that when you communicate to your customer while the instruments are charging, then of course the customer needs to communicate through the audio or chat function of his smartphone, because yes, the instruments are still in the charger. And also there, when the hearing aid user puts the instrument on his ear, consider that it may need some time, again, also probably half a minute, until the instruments, they can, until the hearing aid user, he can hear through the instruments and you can detect them. Then we have this great new call tap control, where the hearing aid user, yes, if he would like to answer a call, just a quick double tap on the shell is actually sufficient to answer a call. I have tried it out personally, so it really, really works very, very well. So you don't have, to grab for the buttons. Where do I find the buttons now? Simple tap, and you are able to answer a phone call. We have seen that you can activate the option in the app, but it's also possible in the end screen session that the hearing aid user, he can actually activate it in the software. So use tap control as a default, it's always on. Then I would like to point out, which it may be important to you, that the flight mode option in the indicator has been renamed because the flight mode actually was not the correct specification. So from now on, previously in the old version of Oasis 23.2, we still had the flight mode. Now in 24.1, you will see it has been renamed in Bluetooth on and off, because yes, Bluetooth explains actually more what this feature is, because it can also be in another moment than sitting in an airplane. Then I would like to mention one feature which has been added to Oasis 24.1. So In the past, if the hearing aid user has had two instruments, which mean a binaural fitting, and then one instrument had to be sent to service, then the hearing instrument was serviced, and then one instrument was sent to your shop because the instrument has now been repaired. So then it was necessary that your client had to come back to your shop because you had to connect both hearing instruments in order to program them again. Now it is possible that even if one instrument was at the repair, you can actually program it back to the hearing, to the user settings, and the binaural pairing then still is maintained. So it serves you one visit of the hearing aid user to your shop. You pre-program it, you send it to your hearing aid user, and then he immediately can use both instruments again. So this is a very, very nice option, which hearing care professionals have been waiting for quite a long time. Here, just a short summary, what's all new in OASIS 24.1. So we have seen, of course, the support for Incanta, the new mini-fitted tech speakers, the smart sensor, the ACT value. There will be a new option for REM measurements using IMC2 equipment. I did not go into detail. We talk about this when we do the OASIS webinar. Then we do have the new wearing time counter in data logging. We can fit it in the charger. We can activate the toe tap control. There is a low frequency enhancer optimization, so which means now while streaming, if the hearing aid user is having an open dome, there was already a low frequency enhancer. However, the possibility were rather limited, and now there are much more options in the low frequency enhancer. It's pushing a bit the gain in more frequencies and also with a bit more gain. The Noalink Wireless 2 can be connected. You will see maybe in ending the fitting, some features have been renamed. And then we also have the additional, the increased MPO updates. So we have seen a lot of new information for PowerShop, but I really, really love Incanta because, yes, it's empowering our hearing aid users every day. We can still have the great renowned Bernafon sound quality. We have great solutions we can count on. We have a family of 4 which offer a lot of great features and great options. And also we can still have the great software for a convenient fit. So really Incanta will make the hearing aid user's life easier, and you will have an extremely attractive instrument to sell in your new product portfolio. So with this, I would like to hand over to Marielle, already done. Thank you very much, Marielle, for taking over again.
Yes, you're welcome, Christina. And thank you so much. I really love your sweater. I can't stop looking at it. To help you get started, we have prepared a comprehensive package of materials available, as you can see them here in this slide. And we will send it all after this webinar, including the recording, including this PDF presentation. So we have the brochures for the customer and also for you. We also have a complete overview of the Bernafon portfolio, including the new Incanta. And we also have the fitting guide to help you start programming Incanta in OASIS Next. But what I would really like to highlight here is that we also have this wonderful counseling tool. So there is one, which is a longer brochure. It's not seen here in this slide, but what I do show here is the simpler version that you can actually print out to use with your clients. So there is a guide on how to use this counseling tool, but basically This will help the HCP identify the different listening situations, get the answers of their clients in this table right here, and you can see the different colors depending on where the answers lies. They can recommend appropriate technology level. So you can see here that if their answer is very often to this question or very high, etc., it will lead them to the appropriate technology level. And then another page here on the right, you can see here is a really quick guide. It's very easy to explain to the client. You can show this to the client and you can explain, okay, this is Encanta 100. It's designed for this kind of environment, low noise, and it's designed more to suit a one-on-one conversation. And these are the benefits you get with this technology level, etc. So this is a great tool. It'll be included in the handouts. Watch out for that. Now, I know everyone is probably beside their phone right now, as I do here. So get ready with your phone, open the camera app, because right next in the slide is a QR code, and that leads to the quiz. So as you know, we will be hosting a series of webinars for Bernaphone this year, and there will be a quiz after each webinar. So this is the first one. So right now you see it. You can just open your camera phone and then scan it, but don't click on the start button yet. So the moment that you scan this QR code, you will be routed to this. So don't click on the click to start if you're not ready to take the quiz. And take your time to answer it. The thing is, we are not in a rush. You will not be answering it within this webinar. You can do it anytime after the webinar. Take your time, and you have 1 hour once you click start. So it's really a good way to review all of the great information that we had for today's session. And if you want to run through the recording before you start the quiz, feel free. That's not a problem. The best part is that whoever is able to answer all quizzes that we will have, so this is only the first quiz, but we will have quiz 2, quiz 3, and so forth. If you're able to answer all and you have the highest score, you can actually win a really cool prize at the end of the year. So we will have 3 winners, and we will be revealing the prize in the next webinar. Just a clue, it's something that you can wear on your ear. So I'm not sure how your guessing skills are, but you can just assume. Yeah, so I think you guys have mostly scanned this by now, but I'll just leave it here for a few more minutes in case you need more time. Again, don't click start if you're not ready to take it, because you only have 1 hour after. But don't worry, there's only 10 questions, and I tried to make it as easy as possible for you. So with that, I hope you enjoyed your time learning about Encanta.
There are some questions, Marielle.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Yeah. So we have time. I answered the questions, but maybe it's interesting. So shall we have a look at these 3 questions which came in? So absolutely. There was question 1. Can the tap button to answer calls be deactivated? Yes, it can be deactivated. It can be, you have seen in the software, basically it's on, but you can also switch it off. And then the other question. Yes, of course.
Okay, so you can deactivate, so the client can turn it off in the app, the HCP can turn it off in the app, and just in case the client turns it off in the app, the next time the HCP will connect the hearing aids to the Oasis Next, they will be informed, oh, your client actually disabled this tap control. All right.
Correct. Actually, what Marielle just told you, this feedback, if the client, enabled something in an app on his own, then yes, he will always get information in the software. Yep. So then we had a second question. With the new binaural fitting, do you still have to reconnect the hearing aid to the app together with the other hearing aid. So, I mean, I think if the hearing aid user receives the repaired hearing instrument back home, then of course he first needs to connect both hearing instruments to his phone. And once they are connected to the phone again, then they can also be connected to the app. So, but if the one hearing aid has been away for a long time, then it's possible that it must be reconnected in the phone. But yes, I mean, if both instruments are connected to the phone, then they also will automatically be detected.
And we have the last question, Christina.
And the last question, yes, was about the battery 13. Did you say that changing has to be done in the lab in Poland? Yes, changing has to be done in the lab in Poland or in another local lab which has been certified to do this. So,
exactly.
Yes.
As long as the lab is certified to change the battery and they had the appropriate training, then that's no problem. But the HCP cannot touch it because you can't open it. It's part of the casing. It's molded to the hardware.
Correct.
All right.
Okay.
So, yes, watch out for the recording and the handouts. We will send it to you later. And if there is nothing else, Christina, would you like to say anything else?
Only there is another question only for the rechargeable devices.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. Only for the rechargeable Encanta. And we currently for Encanta, we only have it in one style, and that is the rechargeable MiniRite. So that applies only for Encanta. So the rechargeable MiniRite we have for Alpha XT, Alpha and Viron, you can still change them as an HCP. You can still change the lithium-ion battery on your own.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is really a great overview of what you can expect from Encanta. All right.
Okay.
Wish you guys a great rest of the day. You're awesome.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.